All right.
Can you get it here?
Welcome back to the
Leave it there,
74th
leave it
Annual
there.
Dykes Tournament here at the
I'll take the
Potomac
fork,
Curling Club in Laurel, Maryland.
Good shot. Ice is slow. Sweep, sweep. Up.
All right, good morning, everybody. We
Stay
are
with it, though. Sweep,
already
sweep,
in the
sweep.
first end of
Damn it.
Team House Money versus
Right.
Team Brennan.
Take her right up to it.
Team Brennan is in red, and they are from Schenectady. And Team House Money
Good sweep.
from
Top eight.
MVCC in Nashua is playing with Yellowstones today. Yellow has hammer in this first end.
Gotta go, gotta go. Up, up.
This is Zach Howard. He's the lead for
Save yourself.
Merrimack Valley. This is his second and final stone of the first end. He hogged it.
Yeah,
So
that
that's
one didn't quite get crossed.
Those are fucking 4 good rocks right there.
All right, next we have
right.
Robert Cleese. This
Wait,
will
open it up.
be, actually, no, this will be Jeff Howells. We're
Ice
into
is
the
slow.
second for Team Brennan. And Scott Brennan, the skip, asking for a draw.
Yes.
it's
Out of the way.
calling the sweepers on it.
Stay with it. Yes, we want it in. I lost its handle. Yeah, bring it as far as it'll go. Come on. Nice sweeping. Nice sweeping. Still want to try to get behind those corners.
All right, now we have Brian Doucette from Team House Money. This is his first stone. Oh, no, I have the wrong one. This is Jeff Howells. I'm sorry. I have the wrong
okay.
rocks color with the wrong team. I apologize for that.
Come here, baby. Come here, baby.
That's true. Merrimack Valley is throwing red.
Yeah, that's what we like. Get her out. Get her out. Let's come this way. At least we know one can get to the house. Yeah, exactly, right?
This would be
Feel
Brian
bad.
Duchette's
Everybody's
Yes.
first.
got rocks in
Yes.
the house except for us.
So.
What are we doing wrong as skips? We suck, Scott.
Obviously,
Yes!
obviously the two skips know each other.
All right, up. Stay with it, though. Yeah, stay off. Stay off. If it chips off and rolls in this way, that'd be cool.
Both teams still trying to figure out the
Sweep.
weight.
Oh, you.
Oh, still short of the house.
It's all right. It's all right. Nice sweeping.
All right, this is Jeff Howells, second rock.
A couple of guards out front for both teams. They're still trying to get one in behind it.
Whoa, 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 whoa. It's got a curl. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Go, Rob. Go, Rob. Whoa,
Oh,
whoa,
and
whoa,
wick
whoa.
off the guard and into the house, but it's wide open.
Shot.
At this point, MVCC is going to come down for hit and roll. Eric Ryder's first shot here is the vice.
Wanna get
Skip's
just
calling
off
for
nose.
up weight.
Sweep.
Calls the sweepers on it right out of his hand.
Yeah, all the way, all the way. Up. Take the roll, take the roll, take the roll. Oh.
Not much of a
nice
roll.
Shot. Nice sweeping, guys.
It is sitting top 12.
It's still open.
Tom Brennan from Schenectady is going to come down and take that out. Hopefully get a flop behind the
Still your normal.
guard on our right-hand side. The skip's left.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Yep. All right, good shot.
And he's going to get the hit and just
shot.
stick.
Good shot.
Although they are in a position now where just a straight nose hit is not going to leave the
Let's take this, let's
redstone
go this way.
in the house.
Correct. So they will need to get the
Same
roll
way.
in order to get into house. Otherwise, they will just be sticking out
In.
front.
Is that in? That's in? That yellow rock's in over there?
With another guard.
Sweep.
Eric Ryder's second rock.
Hard. Sorry. You okay?
Heavy sweeping right out of his
Up,
hand,
up.
and it is
Come on,
gone.
Okay.
Flashes that shot.
Just so something like T-line. I love the split, but if you just promote it back, that's okay too. I'd rather play the split.
Okay, Brennan asking for the
T-line.
split. T-blind wait. Just try to open it up that front of the house. Get the rocks in.
Line's good, wait only.
Daniel Mueller's second and final
Line's
shot
real
here, the
good.
first in.
Yep. Whoa. Take that in.
Does get the split.
One
Good
behind the
shot.
guards,
Great
and the
shot.
other one's a little bit open, but nice shot.
Just drawing.
All right.
Yep. Drawing. If we can get it behind this, that'd be perfect. Probably about there. Just inside the red.
All right, Skip Nathan Church coming down for his first shot, and he's going to try and draw down to the top yellow in the 8 foot, or just behind it.
So the ice is slow. Danny, you're down here. Really? So the draw is literally like. All right. So we're gonna draw in. We want to see if we can come in. Yep. So we can kiss that yellow. That'd be perfect. Good shot, kid.
Call is a draw.
Good throw. Sweep. That's way inside.
Sweepers are on it. Shot appears to be
Yeah, all
narrow.
the way, hard.
Working to get it past the guards.
It's pretty low. You push that yellow out, that's perfect. Up, up!
And it's going to go into the back of the 4 foot.
Although it is sitting shot.
It is shot
Probably gets that,
behind
right?
guards.
Nice
But
sweep.
it is
Problem
behind the
we're gonna
T-line,
probably put
so-
ourselves right here, and he'll try to draw down too, maybe. No, I don't think so. If we hit it here, we could try to take it here. That's okay, right?
That's fine.
So you want to throw like kind of control?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, he's going to try to pick that redstone out of the back. Calling for a down weight hit, control weight.
I think we can get that with control.
All right, that was a 62 draw. 62 to that spot.
You really can't see much of that, can you?
You just have to poke it out and move it, right?
Think that's enough room?
Skip trying to get a second opinion from his front end.
We can actually come down on weight and take more broom. Only want to throw hack. All right, we're good.
All right,
All right,
going to
let's
go
make it
back with the down weight hit, try to squeak by those guards and get the red out.
Whoa!
Watch the spill, watch the spill.
Yep, yep! Whoa! Whoa! Nice shot.
Nice shot. So red in the back of the house and spilled
That sucks.
the yellow behind the other
All right, see if we can get it back.
That works. It was just really scary if it was going to go or not.
Same
All
shot. Same shot we just threw. Same shot. Get it back. Get it back, out count. Get it back, out count. He's got 3 right now. They're counting 3.
All right.
That's why we get it back, out count.
It's going just for a straight draw.
We can
try
tuck
to hide
it a little,
Right.
a little tighter. That'd be nice. It's gonna be the same weight though, hopefully.
Holy shit.
Yeah, stay off.
Ooh, it's not curling enough. I don't know that they're. Oh, I think it's going to be open in the back. Oh, too far.
He is setting the second shot.
It is sitting second, but you can see almost all of it from down at the other end. So I'm afraid this rock's not going to be here much longer.
We're 1. We're shot. We just play this for 4.
So he is going to go down and poke it out for 4.
You can tighten it up a little.
All right, so Brennan has a straight hit for 4. No sweeping.
Whoa!
There you go. Looks pretty good. Oh,
It's
well,
okay.
probably
Still
3.
right?
Three is not a bad start to the first end there.
Exactly. So, Team Brennan from Schenectady starts out the game with 3.
Nice not slow down. He was fine, but
Top 4.
All right, we have Robert Cleese from Team Brennan lead with his first stone. Oh, great sweeping. Nice center line guard. All right, Nathan Church calling for a come around to draw to the top 4 behind the guard. Lead Zach Howard.
How's the weight? Sweep, sweep.
Sweeping for line. Trying to get it around.
Yes, yes, yes.
Great sweeping. Nice shot.
Very nice. Nice sweeping, guys. Nice job. Come down to it.
Come down, try to poke it any way you can, move it around just a little bit, get the lines right. Robert Cleese's second and final shot here of the second inning. Looks to be a little heavy. Wow, that was a very nice finish on that
Very
stone.
nice. Ooh, little,
Very nice finish on the stone.
Guard up.
all right, so Church asking for a guard out front. Second, Brian Doucette's first rock.
Line's good. How's the weight? We want to be here.
Looks to be heavier than what the skip called for.
Stay with.
It's going to be in the house.
That's not coming over at all.
No,
Nah, leave it.
there we go.
It's not going to move.
Oh, wide open. So Brennan's going to ask for a takeout.
Spell like your normal control.
Normal takeout from second Jeff Howells.
Good stone, Zach. Yeah. Whoa. Okay, Yep. No, I lied. Keep going. Whoa. Up. Good job. Take it out. Roll
All right,
over.
Church asking for a hit and roll over.
Normal. Sweep. Up. Stay off.
Ooh, it
Looks to
doesn't.
be way wide.
Field goal.
Misses the shot, so at this point, Brennan will just guard it up.
Throw something up there.
Yep.
Anything in between them. I think this line runs pretty straight.
Thank you, John. All right, so John Hale is leaving us, and so now we have Sandra McMakin. I'm Becca Erickson, and we are in the second end of the Team House Money and Team Brennan game. Team House, to just recap, scored 3 in the first end. Or not Team House, Team Brennan scored 3 in the first end. Oh, that guard went a little heavy. So Team House has red.
We can run this back and get the double.
And he's asking for a takeout.
Same weight. Stay off. Off.
Oh, this looks wide again. We're going to hit the red guard. Oh, little wick, and that's not bad.
Luck counts in curling.
It does, absolutely, Sandra. That's not a bad place to be.
Up here. We're still 2.
All right, Scott Brennan asking for a guard.
Yes. All the way, guys. All the way. Come on. You can hold it. You can hold the line. Got it. You got it. This way.
Just trying to get myself acclimated to how the ice is moving.
Oh, that's going to be heavy, and they're going to end up hitting that red. Oh, popping the red open. So
It looked like there was a nice curl to that rock.
that changed.
Nice sweep, guys.
All right, Church.
Sweep for line. Sweep. Up.
So red with hammer sitting third shot right now is opting to draw.
A little heavy.
And we're a little heavy here.
All right. Brennan's going to ask for a takeout on that third stone.
We go hitting in. He's got something to come down to, so I'd rather go away. So you normal.
Asking for the hit and roll out. Possibility of a jam in the back. But it won't matter. They're already sitting 3. Or if they get this out, they'll be sitting 3.
So he has a fair bit of weight. More like control, I think. And he's going to get a roll in.
Nice shot.
That's fine.
Very nice shot.
Good throw. T-line. You have plenty of backing, so.
Oh. Okay.
You can have it if you want. You don't
And red is actually opting to draw again.
Up. Up. Stay up, stay up, stay up, stay up, stay up, stay up, stay up.
Again, looks like they have a fair bit of weight.
Line's good.
That's going to be in the back of it. Back of the house or through.
You don't want it too deep.
All right.
Too bad. It looks like the ice is pretty keen.
Yep.
Second end already.
Yeah, it was a little. We heard them say it was a little slow the first end, but I think it is sped up to speed for the second end.
Here, that's not bad. I'd like to be
All right, so we have Skip Scott Brennan throwing his first stone.
Love to bite. I'd love to bite top 12.
And he is going to draw in. If he drops it short, either way, he's going to seal up the 4-foot on red and make it really difficult for red Skip's first rock.
Because even if it's just over the hog line, but on the right line.
Nice release on that rock.
Anything on the inside is going to roll over.
The sweepers are keeping it clean.
Oh, sweeping pretty hard now.
Whoa!
Nice rock.
It's really coming in there nice.
Very nice. That kind of seals up the other side of the 4-foot, makes it very difficult for Nathan Church.
Pushed it a little bit. Run that out. Want to be literally just on the edge of the stone. Normal right there. So I kind of gave it a little fling, and I think it pushed it too long. Quite off that.
Okay, so now Nathan is
That's why
going to do a hit. I think he's
he is right now.
trying to get a roll to the inside. Maybe he can get a biter on that 4-foot. But either way, he's trying to open something up here.
Line's good.
and he fell down, and unfortunately, when he fell, he pushed it, and it's called, he started it, so he started it curling directly on a diagonal, and he's just going to be at the back of the house on the side.
I don't mind throwing, if we throw something up there, he has to go, right? I mean, we can even tap it. No, I know, but if we tap it.
Team Brennan discussing what they're going to do. They are looking at either tapping up or whether, I think they are looking at tapping up or putting a guard up, discussing that. What did they finally decide?
It looks like they have, well, they have a few options, and the shot that they called, I think, takes into account, you know, 2 or 3 options. They can draw in, do a tap, sit on top of the yellow one that's at the top of the 4-foot there, or if it comes short, then they have a guard.
Which one would be your first choice, Sandra?
Well, they got a lot of rocks in the house, and you know, they're already up 3. They can just sit at the top of the 12 and make life really miserable for Nathan. It looks like that's kind of what they're doing. That's where the broom position of the vise, you can see where the vise taps his broom is where he's trying to tell the sweepers where they'd like that rock to end up. And he ends up short in a guard position, and it's just a great shot. So Nathan's got a really tough shot to take. He does have a shot to actually count. It's a tough one, a hit and roll over, but it's there. He can definitely count or eliminate some counters that are in there by rolling into the 4-foot at least.
Honestly, right now I feel better with this. Just off the stone, right on the stone. Just off nose.
Yeah, and so they're going to try a hit and a roll over into the 4-foot to possibly count, but more likely to just cut them down some points here.
Get that just off nose. Very least we touch red. Very least we touch red.
No sweeping yet. Waiting for the rock to curl.
They're waiting, and it looks like it's coming. He might have a really good shot here if he's got enough weight.
Oh, it's down.
He needs a piece of that yellow. He needs to. Oh,
Nice.
he's gonna.
Nice
shot. And the
Nice shot.
skip has saved the end. That's what he gets paid the big bucks to do.
Absolutely. Nice shot by Nathan Church and Team House Money to get out of a very sticky situation. He was looking at giving up 5 and was able to get in there, get his point. So
I really like how he kept his weight down to make sure that his rock stuck around somewhere. You know, it's really sometimes when you're facing that many shots, it can be hard not to bring your weight up. To try and get out as many rocks as you can, but he kept a nice soft weight to keep his shooter in play and made a great shot.
Very good. All right, so lead Zach Howard with his first stone.
Mine's good. What do you got for weight? We don't want house. Sweet. Over and up. Now, you know, take it as far as we'll go. Take it as far as we'll go. As far as we'll go, come on. That works. Nice looking, guys.
And we have a nice center line guard from Zach Howard. So now we have lead Robert Cleese from Schenectady on Team Brennan with his first stone.
We'll just give a couple of updates on some of these other sheets that are going on. On sheet A, let's see, we can get some names. We're going to just get some names to go with the colors that are out, playing out there, but it looks like the score is tied right now, 1-1 in the third end. They're actually in Leeds Rocks in the third end. On sheet C, it looks like there's a fair bit of a runaway going on. Red. And like I said, we're going to get some names here, but one team is up 10-0 after 2 ends. So they're in the third end. There was a 6-ender on the first end, and then another 4 stolen on the second end on sheet C. And on sheet D, we have, it looks like another close game. It looks like the second end might have been blanked, and the score is 2-0 for yellow. We'll get the names of the teams to go with those updates. Very nice curl around yellow guard by the lead Robert Cleese.
Right there.
Actually, that was the lead. He ends up curling out actually a little bit on the other side at the back, just touching the back 12. A little bit heavy on this draw.
Nice try. Right there. Full leg foot. Plate the 4.
All
So
right.
he's calling for another draw around this guard.
Couple updates on the other sheets. Sheet A, we have Citrini from Utica and playing red, and Reedham and Sweet from Potomac is with Yellowstones, and that is all tied up 1-1 after 2 ends. In sheet C, we have Eaton from Ardsley is up 10-0 after 2 against Hamilton at Curling Club of Virginia. And then on sheet D, we have Machino from Philadelphia playing Spartacus from Potomac, and that currently is 2-1 for Spartacus after 2 ends.
Okay, I thought there was a blank there, but it wasn't.
Stay up. Stay up. Off. Sweet.
And so the feature game on sheet B, there are a couple of rocks in guard positions just off the center line. One is yellow, one is red, and that has drawn at least 3 rocks behind, or to try and hide behind those 2 guards out in front of the house.
So Brennan asking for a hit.
Oh, he made it by,
Oh,
but over curled and just wicked off enough to move the red over a little bit.
We're number 1.
Almost went through what doesn't even look like much of a port there. Moved his yellow rocks around behind, and so now red is going to, it looks like he's going to try and put one in front of the one that he's already got in the 4-foot. So he's got a fair bit of broom, aiming out almost into the 12-foot, the edge of the 12.
Stay up. Bring it. Bring it.
And now it's breaking, and the sweepers are trying to pull it in, and it's a pretty good guard. He's got it half covered.
it's a little bit more difficult.
No! 3/4! No! Never!
Brennan asking how his front end, how much of the rock they can see, and they're telling him about 3/4. So he's going to ask for a hit. Control weight.
That is really curling. It looks like he might even bump the red that's out in front of the house, and he doesn't have a lot of weight, so it'll be interesting to see. Oh, he's got enough to push it all the way through, just out the back. But the guard is still about the same position as the other guard was, so.
Church asking for another guard.
Stay up. Plenty of weight. Plenty of weight.
Now,
This looks like it may be heavy.
yeah, and looks like he's going to wick off the front guard. Now, he called for a guard. He's got a rock in the 12-foot, but at this point, he does not have the hammer. So yellow has the hammer, and at the time that he called his shot, he actually had a clear shot at yellow's second rock, and he possibly could have, opted to come and hit that one and roll in behind those guards, eliminating both a yellow rock and getting a shot out of it behind a guard. But he went for the guard, and unfortunately his yellow, or the yellow rock that was there, ended up rolling. Now that shot is no longer there, and he's looking at 3.
Take him out. We hit just inside. We're good. About here.
All right.
Good moves, a fair amount.
Nathan discussing with his vice, Eric Ryder, their first, Nathan's first shot.
Good throw. I don't think I gave you enough room.
He's going to go ahead and hit that yellow one that Dan Mueller just threw.
Yep. Just off nose to get a little bit of roll. I mean, that's very house line. That is.
He does not have a lot of ice, so he must be throwing a little bit more weight. Do you think?
I think so.
He's got the broom just a couple inches outside of the yellow shot there, and it has been curling, so he must be throwing some weight at this.
Doesn't look like a whole lot.
Nope, and he didn't throw a lot of weight.
Oh, and it's curling.
And it's really curling. It looks like he's on the guard.
They might.
Oh, they're going for a tap instead. Oh.
And that goes, too far. Back of the house. All the way
Just
through.
out the back. He needed, with that kind of broom on the way that this ice is curling, he either needed to bring his weight up so that his rock didn't curl as much, or he needed to give himself a little bit more ice on that shot, I think.
Huh? All right, so we have Team Brennan, Skip Scott Brennan coming down for his first shot. Yellow sitting 3. Asking for top 8. Our top 12, just kind of close off. Protect that rock in the 4-foot, and then make it difficult for Nathan.
He's just delivered. His shot looks really nice. He was right out to the broom where he had it. His sweepers are right with that rock, and it's curling in there really nice. Nice shot.
Very nice. Full 8.
The great thing about this shot is that he's from this end at the glass end looking towards the scoreboard. You can't see quite all of that shot, so it's partially hidden behind a guard. That's how far he curled over, which means that it'll be very difficult for Nathan to actually, number one, hit and stick, or to actually get a double off the one that's right in the 4-foot there. Just the way that the rocks are positioned. And again, he has not taken a lot of ice, which means that he's going to, oh, they're moving the broom around. Oh, he's
coming down weight, so yeah, they're going to move the broom out.
And again, if he throws a down weight shot, the chances that his shooter is going to stay around are better. However, it could mean that he's conceding points here based on, or, you know, depending on what happens with his shot, but he could be conceding points because his shooter is going to be sitting, you know, 8 foot at best.
Rock curling again already.
Yeah.
They're on the red.
So they've gone for plan B, and hopefully that works out for them. They're going to see if they can't push the red rock. Oh, no, it didn't. It caught it on too much of an angle and was never going to make it to the house on that angle. So
all right.
Unfortunately, they've now opened up a fairly large port to the middle of the house. Not that they, you know, needed to get to the middle of the house, but they've got a fair, they've got, you know, 2 fairly large ports from either side of center line to get into the house.
Team Brennan deciding which way they want to throw this stone, inside out or from the outside in.
And this is a draw for 5.
They're a little area of 2 red stones that are out in front, so they're going to come out completely out to the 12-foot on the side, and there's only a yellow. I guess there is a yellow and a red guard out there, but all they have to do is to get into the house, touch the house to score 5.
Yeah, so he's going to go around the guards. Sweepers are right on it. He was out to the broom, so he's got a fair bit of room to actually curl in there, and they're saying that it looks good. So that is a draw for 5. Great shot. And I'm just gonna go back to that one shot that we had talked about by the church rink when he had shot rock in the 4-foot. and he had an open hit on the left-hand side to Yellow's second shot that would have possibly given him the opportunity to hit and roll in behind the guards while removing the opponent's rock when he did not have the hammer. Sometimes the best guard is second shot, and a lot of times when you don't have the hammer, you're better to hit some of these shots that are close to the forefoot that are in the open like that. So if you, unfortunately his guard over curled, and that ended up taking that shot away from him. But it was there, and I kind of like that shot a little bit better.
I would agree with that. And Brennan asking for his lead, Robert Cleese for into the house, but he's short. Now, Sandra, what's the importance of, why was he wanting it in?
Well, at this point, Yellow or Team Brennan is up a fair bit. Like they're up, 8-1. So really, they don't need any more points. So if they bring rocks into the house, it brings play into the house, and sometimes that's going to cause the opposition to either go after those shots with hits, and once you're into more of a defensive game or a hit game, the likelihood that somebody's going to score a big end is less. So he was trying to switch it more to a defensive game and not allow the front of the house to get blocked off with a bunch of guards.
You were inside and it came over a lot. Let's try to get here.
Nope.
First button. Yeah, thank you.
That's it. Thank you.
All right. Team Brennan's lead, Robert Cleese with his second rock. Looks like it has a little bit more than the first one. Not much. Gonna go for a tap. Tap behind the red guard, top 12.
Come around.
Now Church asking for his lead to draw around the center line guard.
Line's good. How's the weight? We want T-line. Up. Stay up. Stay up. Hang around.
It's going to be in there, but it's going to, well, he's got shot rock out of that. That's good. It looked like it was going to slide a little farther than that. Now that the free guard zone is over, Brennan is going to clear off the front of the house. Again, not give Team Church an opportunity to start piling rocks in there behind guards.
Doesn't seem to be a whole lot of weight. Oh, but it's over curled, and so they're going to just run that one back. And
Oh, a
onto
bit of
the-
a,
There you go. Plan B or C often works too.
That's a nice shot.
yeah.
Sorry. You get backing, so you sit. That's
Yeah,
okay.
and Nathan is actually calling out to his player, like the fact that he had a jam. I mean, it was a yellow rock jamming at the back. Okay, so now there's two yellows in the house, but it's not a bad thing to have that yellow back there, so that they have something that they can use for backing or to set up their own jam. And that's exactly what he's called for. He's called for a draw-in, and he's told his player that he has backing, so he's, make sure that you're not overly light, and they've brought it in. Very nice shot.
Nice
Again,
shot.
this is partially hitting behind a guard, so it's not a straight shot to get at it. It's just biting the button. So that was a very nice shot.
Yes, and with it being a corner of it behind that guard, if they try to hit, the chances are that shot rock will roll out a little bit, so it won't be behind the guard.
Mm-hmm. He's given him a down weight tap, it looks like. Fair bit of ice. And it looks good on release. He's called for sweeping. Called sweepers off and then on again. That was a nice shot. And that was, you know, pretty good line calling too. Calling the sweepers on and then off when it didn't look like it was breaking, and then back on again just after the break so that they could get the nice curl and avoid the jam at the back.
Quite a bit more weight, and gonna hit on the outside.
Did manage to remove at least one of the yellow stones, which was what he was calling was a hit. He removed the stone that was at the back. And now they're going to, Brennan is going to put a draw in around the front center guard. Again, this is another shot where there's a range that this rock can stop that's going to be helpful to them. It can stop out in front of the house. It can stop in the top 12. He can even bring it if it's coming in and curling really nice and getting around that guard. He could bring it in so that it's sitting top 4 around the center guard, which would, again, start to make Nathan's life very difficult even with the hammer. Now Nathan still has a shot here because that one overcurled a little bit and ended up basically as a center guard again. So he's got some room to get around there. Calling for sweeping. It looks pretty good if he can make it around this front guard. He's keeping his sweepers on. It looks like he's by. Oh, this is going to be a really nice
great shot. Very nice shot. Good sweep.
Yep. Great line call. Good sweeping. And a nice throw. Now, who threw that rock?
I think that was
Doucette? Or was that Ryder?
I believe that was Ryder's first rock.
Okay, very nice shot. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing people's names incorrectly.
Brennan asking for a run back takeout. Oh, and that opens up the middle.
Okay, so now Nathan's got, he's got to figure out what he needs to do here. He has the hammer. but he's down 7 points. He's opting to put a rock in the top 12 in front of the red that he's already got.
What other options does he have, Sandra?
Well, he's got a little bit of room on his right-hand side. He almost could try and come around to maybe freeze on the back yellow if he could get in there. He doesn't want to set up any kind of a double. This is his third last shot. So, putting up a guard that's a corner guard, I guess, is not that bad as long as he's okay with getting 2. He still can possibly get 3 depending on what happens with his 2 last rocks. And now that he's got a bit of a corner guard, I guess a 3 is in play.
Looks like Scott Brennan is going to go after this red stone in the top 4 foot. Not sure what weight he's going to throw. He doesn't necessarily need to stick around. It's like a down weight hit. Sweeping hard for line to get past that guard.
Oh, that was a nice shot.
Nice shot.
Okay, so he's going to be able to put his corner guard to use again by going around. He's motioning he wants to come back around to the same spot that he was just at. He's got some rocks scattered around the back of the house. Like, he could almost, hit the yellow and roll in behind to see what Scott Brennan would do. And, based on that, he could have a little bit of a run back for 4 if he, tried to bring his rocks in the 12-foot back into play. But he's going to try and draw around there right now.
Oh, curling quite a bit. Looks like we're going to be on the guard.
Okay, well, at least it's a red guard. And he's going to push something in here, and he's got nice weight so that it'll stick around. So he's going to end up with second shot.
Ideal sit 2. On that promote.
All right. Skip Scott Brennan talking to his vice, Daniel Mueller, about what they want to do. Looks like they're going to put Yellowstone top 12, top 8. Close off the 4-foot. Make it more difficult for Nathan.
You can tighten it up. And you can tighten it up a foot. It's fine. No, I want to high.
Just know this. Just know this.
Okay, so it looks like red on sheet A which is
Citrini from
Citrini
Utica.
from Utica, just counted 4. So that brings the score to 5-3. Utica over Redeman Sweep Potomac.
Actually, no, they have, or yeah, you're right, correct. I'm sorry, I was looking at yellow. All right, Brennan threw a nice guard that's blocked off the 4-foot, or it's protecting that yellow in the back 4-foot. So Church, it looks like Church thinks he can still get through. There's a bit of a gap to just draw to the 4-foot. But I'm not really sure that that shot is there with the ice he's taking.
There's a tiny port.
I think to get through that port, you'd have to throw a bit more weight with the way it's been curling. Oh, it's
Actually, he can make it in there.
oh
Uh-oh, except that he slightly overcurled,
oh.
and that is going to give Brennan another steal of 1.
So score on sheet B is 9-1. Team Brennan from Schenectady leading. Team House Money from Merrimack Valley Curling Club out of Nashua. Update on sheet D, we have Spartacus after 3 ends is up, or after 4 ends is up 3-1 over Machino from Philadelphia. Looks like the 3rd end was blanked. And after 4 on, or we're in the 5th end on sheet C with Eaton from Ardsley leading Hamilton from CCVA Curling Club of Virginia 13-2. All right, back on sheet B. Team Brennan's lead, Robert Cleese with his first rock. Asked for it in the house, and very nice, right on the 4-foot.
Nice shot, right to the button. And they are going to hit this.
Now, when you're down 9-1 and they throw the first rock in the house, do you want to be hitting?
Well, that was what we talked about the last end. So they brought their shooter, the first Team Brennan brought their first rock into the house. You have to basically ignore shots coming into the house, even if they're sitting right on the button, and start setting up the front of the house area, the free guard zone area, so that you can, set up some plays and hopefully get more than 1 or 2 in this instance. So he should have probably ignored that rock and just put up a corner guard to start with.
All right, Brennan's lead, Robert Cleese just threw his second rock. Asked for it in the house again. Looks like it's going to end up back 8. And that's a fine shot.
T-line.
Probably would prefer to have it in front of the tee line, but anywhere in the house right now is not too bad for Team Brennan.
And actually, this rock actually works for Team Church as well. He's going to use it to freeze up to. Now again, this is the free guard zone. This is his lead throwing, so he could just be putting up a corner guard to try and set up something that he can hide behind later in the end and score more than 1 or possibly 2 points. But he's going to use this rock right off the bat. He's bringing it into the house. Now, Brennan can actually just go ahead and hit this one, which he's going to do. And so because he is up 9-1, he really doesn't need any more points. So he goes on defense, and curling is backwards that way, in that shots with higher weight are hitting, and we actually end up usually with lower scoring ends when we're playing a hit game. So that's what he's
So
trying
it's
to bring into play in this end.
slightly counterintuitive, but when you play defense in curling, you're actually hitting.
That's right.
And when you're playing an aggressive game, you're drawing.
Yes. Yes. It seems backwards, but soft weight is really aggressive play. And so to have a lot of rocks in play where you can score a big end, multiple points, you need lots of rocks in play, and so that's where you need your soft shots. And it seems backwards because when people they learn how to curl, we kind of start them out in a lot of instances until they get the hang of hitting the broom and being on target. We do call more draw shots, or shots just to put rocks in play. Then as people get their balance better and they get better on the broom, then and their alignment on target is better, the play tends to gravitate more to hit games, which are a lot of fun, but eventually we kind of like them to come back so that they also are able to play the aggressive or the draw game as well, where ice reading and line calling and all that other kind of stuff really come into play at that point. So that's seems to be the evolution of how these game strategies go, as we go from draws to learn, then to hits when we have better balance and alignment, and then we try and fit back in finesse or draw games after that.
Team Brennan second, Jeff Howells going for a takeout. Church had asked for a draw or freeze on the back yellow, but over curled. Oh, not sure what happened there. If it was just a miss or a pick.
I didn't see it. I didn't see what happened to that
yeah,
shot.
it wasn't. We weren't quite sure what happened with that one. If it was just a miss or a pick, but ended up taking out their own yellow. So Church asking for a draw to the button. No guards out front, so he's kind of doesn't have much choice but to start freezing on those back stones.
And actually, this is pretty good. I mean, he's avoiding the temptation to, actually go and hit that yellow stone. He's going to use the stone that's back behind the forefoot and try and build something from there.
Keep going all the way.
Even if this rock stops short, he still is putting red rocks in play that he can use to help him build an end and hopefully score multiple points.
Well, I think conventional strategy's out the window for this set. Can't blast anymore. Now we got to go here. Down two. Let's get underneath it right here.
All right, Brennan opting to ignore the rock in the top 12 and to draw behind.
Just basically get the second shot.
Would like to get 2 shots in there. We wanted 2 to put a little pressure on Nathan.
Okay, so this is Brennan's third, which is Daniel Muller. Okay. Very nice delivery. Slid out nice and straight. Let it go at the broom. They're all 3 out there trying to pull this in. And he ends up, looks like third shot, but blocking the forefoot.
Run this back and get them both, that'd be awesome, but that ain't gonna happen.
And we've got a rock coming down. It looked like it was, right on the broom and that he was going to have a good shot coming when he let it go, but I think his weight was a little bit more than what Church was calling for, and so it never really moved off that line and just kind of slid right by.
That's fine. If you split it and get underneath, that's okay. I like coming this way, though, because if we stay up here, we have catchers.
All right, so Brennan opting to draw from the other side. Vice Eric Ryder's second rock.
Now he let this go, and he might have turned it a little when he let it go.
Oh,
and it looks like it's over curling. It might be going to bump red into the house, so this could actually help Church a bit. Oh, there it comes. And it does.
All right, so bumped red in. Red is now shot, but it's open. There is backing behind it, though, so it makes it a little bit more difficult to take it out. And Church deciding what to do, and has opted for a guard or top 12 in front of the stone that Daniel just tapped in.
And, he's called for that shot, but if it's coming in nice, he could actually pull that rock, this rock that that his third Brian Doucette is throwing right now. He could actually pull this right in to bite the 12-foot if it was coming in that way.
Actually, I think this is Eric Ryder.
Oh, it's Eric. Sorry, I'm looking at that
That's
list
all right.
upside down. The third.
All right, so ends up being a guard, long guard. It is covering shot rock.
I know what you're saying with that ball.
All right, I missed what Brennan is calling.
You know what? It looks like he's going to try and come through because the guard that was just thrown is fairly long, like you said. So he figures he has enough room to come between the yellows that are in the 12-foot and the long guard and either tap that red off of the 4-foot. His rock is, let's see, he's pretty close to making it through there. Oh, here it comes.
Oh, this is going to be,
Oh, that was a nice try.
little heavy. But are they shot now?
I don't know, I can't tell. I think red is still shot.
Very close, though.
We'll know in a second, because if red doesn't think that he needs to go after that yellow rock, then
I think we're one right now.
Pretty tough to get that one out of there.
All right, we're to skip Nathan Church's first stone. Try and decide what to do. It looks like red is shot, and or they believe that red is shot, and so Church is deciding to leave the yellow alone and to draw around the two yellow guards into the top 4-foot on the other side.
his rock, it looks pretty good. The sweepers are on it. This, if he can make it past, no, I think he's
it's going to be on the yellows.
Yeah. That's too bad because he looks like he has nice weight.
Oh,
no.
And bumps yellow in for shot. That hurts.
Now, I'm going to pick on Nathan right now.
All right.
Okay, so as a coach, one of the things that Nathan did was with that shot was he called the shot and then he turned his back and came down the ice. He never actually told his third where to put the broom on that shot. So the third kind of looked around and put his hands up in the air and said, okay, well, I think I'll put the broom here. So, you know, one of the things that I always encourage and actually insist on is that the skips call their own ice for their own shots, because they have been in the position to read the ice the entire game. It's a very powerful thing for a skip to call a shot looking at the line of delivery or the line from, you know, the way that they've been reading the ice the whole game, and then putting the broom down, going back to the other end and seeing the shot from the other direction. So that's a very powerful thing. All you skips out there, you really need to put your broom down and show your third exactly where you need the broom to be for your shots.
All right, Team Brennan second guessing what he was calling, and the team has come down and they're discussing what they want to do.
Our yellow still jams on their back red.
And is he just asking for a guard? Or is he trying to draw in?
Actually, I'm not sure. It looks like he's throwing a guard. He's throwing a guard. He's probably just wants to put another one up in the front there. He's putting it in front of the front red so that there is no raise or bump off of that front red. There really isn't any kind of a room to get through on the other side where you could actually move anything and still keep your shooter in place. So this is actually a really good shot by Scott Brennan to make things very difficult for Nathan Church to, you know, get one.
All right, well, while Church is deciding what to do for his shot, we'll look at the other sheets. Sheet D is in the sixth end, and let's see, Spartacus is up 3-2 over Machino from Philadelphia. And let's see, Machino scored 1 in the 5th, so Spartacus has hammer in the 6th. On sheet C, after they're in the 6th end, and Team Eaton out of Ardsley leads Hamilton out of Curling Club of Virginia 13-3. Hamilton scored 1 in the 5th, so Eaton has the hammer in the 6th. And on sheet A, they're also in the 6th end, and Team Riedemann Sweep from Potomac is currently up 6-3. They stole 1 in the 5th. So Citrini from Utica has hammer in the 6th. All right, so we're back on sheet B. Nathan Church, and what is he called, Sandra?
It looks like he's, I'm not exactly sure. It looks like he's trying to do some kind of a angle whip or angle raise.
push it into the
they're
butt.
discussing whether they should be coming with the outside in turn or the out turn counterclockwise, or whether they should be coming the other direction. He doesn't have a very big hole either way to get through there. So he's opting for the out turn.
Looks a little. I don't know.
Okay, they are going to make it past this guard. Now, if he calls the sweepers off, he might actually
Scoot that
have a
red
pretty
one in.
good shot here. I'm not sure that he can get shot out of this, but he can definitely
There you go.
remove. He didn't really have too much of a shot, and that was a very nice shot that he made. Didn't have too much of a shot to actually get a counter there, so it was more of a shot just to
Basically that.
eliminate yellow rocks at that point in time.
So Brennan was sitting 2. Church gets one of them out, and so the score after 5 is now 10-1. Brennan over Church. Brennan asking his lead, Robert Cleese, for a rock in the house with his first stone.
It's got to be in.
This
Brennan.
is a very nice delivery.
Brennan telling his sweepers to make sure the rock is in.
I got it, Jeff. Take a break. Okay. Good job, Ron.
Jay Davies is trying to push my chair over.
All right, lead Zach Howard's first stone.
Swing.
And I believe Nathan was asking for a hit.
Yeah, he called a takeout. I think he might have been a little bit narrow when he let it go. That was Zach Howard, and the sweepers just couldn't hold it. It curled by on the other side.
Scott Brennan asking his lead, Robert Cleese, to throw his second stone through the house. Now, why is he doing this, Sandra?
Well, again, when you've got a lot of points on the board and you're up, he's up 10-1 right now, you actually don't need any more points. And so at a certain point, your rocks become the opposition's rocks that they can use against you. So if you put rocks in the house, they can go around you, they can freeze, they can, if by chance you call a rock in the house and it stops short, now you've given them a guard. If it slides behind the tee line, now you've given them something they can use later to freeze up to. So you're almost better off not to have rocks in the house, or not to have a lot of them anyways.
I know. I'm not going crazy.
Oh,
right?
Nathan Church asked for another hit and missed again. So Brennan is still sitting 1.
We can. Never mind. Just saying, we can try to peel ourselves out, but it's not making it more complicated than we have.
And asking his second Jeff Howells to throw his rock away too. At this point, being down 10-1, I really think Nathan has to ignore that rock and throw some guards up. But it's a little too late now. His lead through both his used up both their guards for the free guard zone.
Yeah, he's going to hit and roll to the side. I'm kind of just glancing over at sheet C, where who's playing on sheet C here? Ardsley, Eaters are playing, or Eaton.
Sorry, my handwriting.
Okay. Well, there's lunches being served here, so
Well, yeah, we're hungry.
Okay, so is playing the Curling Club of Virginia, Hamilton. Okay, Now, that game is sitting at 13-3 right now. But I'll tell you what, they always have a ton of rocks in play, both teams. So it's
He was all over the place. He fell a little bit.
the Curling Club of Virginia, you know,
His first two
I'm
takeouts
not exactly sure.
right?
Like that must be an arena club, right?
Throw it through, but try to
I believe so.
Okay. Because they're putting an awful lot of rocks in play. So, you know, it actually, the last two ends that I've looked over there, they've got kind of a really kind of good game going on, and the scoreboard doesn't look like it's really reflecting the rocks that Curling Club of Virginia is actually putting in play. So sometimes when some of the curlers come in from the arena curling clubs, it takes them, you know, a few ends or a game or two games to get used to the speed of dedicated ice, and once they get up to speed, they really, you know, become tough opponents. And so that could be the case here, where now they're really, you know, finding their weight and they're putting a lot of rocks in play.
All right, Church has asked for a takeout from his second. Did get a piece of it, but has rolled out. And yellow sticks around in the back 12 foot.
Nice shooting, guys. Good hold. Normal.
Brennan opting to go ahead and take out his own stone, I believe.
Team did a skip there, just did a really nice takeout around a guard to take the shot stone of Curling Club of Virginia out of play, leaving them to count three, another three, which now they are shaking hands. So that is
right there.
The team from Ardsley over Hamilton of Curling Club of Virginia on cheap feet.
Yep. All right, Brennan took out his own stone, wasn't able to peel him out, so he just replaced it.
Sweet. Up. Up.
Oh, sweeper's burnt stone. So that stone is out of play now. All right, Brennan gonna ask for takeout on his own guard again, or on his own rock again. Just to clean up the house. And,
and this is another example where he doesn't want Merrimack Valley, to use his own rocks against him, so he just gets rid of it. It's sitting there at the back 12.
The applause is for Sheet C that just came off. Team Eaton from Ardsley over Hamilton from Curling Club of Virginia. Brennan asking the sweepers up, and that one over curled. Okay, Nathan asking his vice, Eric Ryder, to draw down to that back yellow.
Sweet. How's the weight? Up.
Okay, so the sweepers swept most of the way, and then the skip called them off for line, I believe. And it stops at the top 8.
They are shot, but Brennan's just going to go ahead and take that out. Pretty tight to the stone, so probably going to be up weight. again with up weight, then he hopefully will spill out too and not leave any rocks around. Or if he does jam, then he would have enough weight that he will lose both rocks, because at this point he doesn't care if any of them stick around.
Oh, this is a nice shot. Hit and stick.
Now I heard one of these sweepers yell normal up. What are these normal and control?
Just how hard the skip is just giving directions on exactly how hard they want the player to throw the stone when it comes to takeouts. Every team kind of develops their own system and their own, weight classes and what those sort of look like. And most teams have at least 2 or 3 different hit weights. One is what they call their normal. Another one might be what they call control, slightly down from normal or board. So there's that, and then they might even have one a little bit less than that, which might be hack, which would be sort of a tap just through the house, and then you could actually even have one more than normal, which might be like peel, where you are throwing, a lot harder and probably are not wanting your shooter to stay around in play. So when they call a normal, they're calling normal weight. He called normal up, so he's wanting just a little bit more weight than what the team has determined to be their normal throwing weight.
All right, so Nathan hit, and it unfortunately rolled over a little bit, and is now second shot. Brennan has shot rock behind the red rock in the back 12, and they are discussing whether to split the house, throw his other yellow on the other side, or to take the red out, and they have decided to take the red out.
See a lot of people shaking their heads on sheet D. I'm not sure what happened there. Something exciting. There's quite a few people crowded around that sheet. Okay, so Team Spartacus is in the hack and throwing first, so they obviously have counted.
All right, Brennan got quite a bit of weight on this one. A nice shot. Takes out the red, and the yellow spills out. Still in play, but not gonna be useful at all to, or it's last stone, so it doesn't matter. So gonna draw to the button for 1. Just have to outcount the yellow, so have to be to the 8 foot.
I think I can feel some handshakes coming on here. The skip is opting to draw to the button.
Yes, the only other option he would have is to try to.
Oh, and he threw a little heavy. And I'm trying to think back how long it's been since he actually has thrown a draw.
Yeah.
And I can't remember Nathan actually.
I don't know if he has. No, I think the last thing he threw was that down weight tap in the second. Oh, yep, you're right. Here's handshakes. So congratulations to Team Brennan, and good game by both Nathan Church from Merrimack Valley Curling Club, and the winner is Team Brennan from Schenectady.
Great job.
Great job, gentlemen. Okay, on sheet, so that concludes team sheet B and sheet C. On sheet A, we are in the 7th end. Just the beginning of the 7th end.
They've got a fairly close game going on. Actually, the 2 games on A and D that are left, both are pretty close. They haven't put the score up from the 6th end on sheet D, and we know that Spartacus scored, and they are.
All right, so we have
right now,
sheet A on right now. Okay, so sheet A, we have.
Good game.
Do not applaud me. Do not applaud me.
All right.
Sorry, another shot. Brennan won.
Huh?
Brennan won.
Yes.
Check the pride at the door. Check the pride. Hopefully nobody from Merrimack Valley is watching that on Facebook. Can I undo that?
All right, we have Citrini from Utica is playing red stones, and Reedham Sweet from Potomac has yellow. And it is a very close game in the 7th. We have Citrini from Utica is up 6-5. Reedham and Sweep scoring 2 in the 2 in the 6th. So. All right, we have the 2nd Jim Carr from Potomac with his first zone. It looks like I can't tell who shot. There is a yellow stone and a red stone, and they both are in the 12-foot.
Looks like yellow might be shot.
All right.
I'm looking from way over here.
All right, 2nd Justin Cato from Utica, Team Citrini. That's a very interesting broom. Asking for a draw. And they did get it by the guard. Very nice. That I believe
is shot rock.
Shot rock, nice shot.
Yeah, very nice shot. Okay, so it looks like he's calling for a bit of a tap. Nobody's touching this rock. Oh, now they are. He's got it by. Nice shot. So he curled by. I don't know how much you can see of that. Just overcurled a little bit too much. Trying to get around. Looks like he was trying to freeze to the yellow on the 4-foot.
I apologize. I just realized I've been leaving off probably a syllable or two off of the Team Utica's name. I think it's Citriniti. I think I've been just saying Citrini.
Citriniti?
Yeah.
Okay, so Mark Hauera, vice for Potomac, has been called to throw a guard. And the sweepers are completely off this rock, although they're walking just in case, and it ends up still in front of the house. And now red, which would be Justin Cato.
Yes.
Okay, so has been called for another attempt at a freeze on the back, the rock on the back forefoot. And he is also a little bit light and is over curled, and it looks like possibly put up a little bit better of a guard on that rock than the one that was there, since he didn't bounce out very far.
All right. Nick Smith asking for a guard.
Sweepers are on this. It looks like he's got it nicely, plugging up a bit of that port that's there. Sort of a staggered guard in the front of the house or in the free guard zone area. So they're looking, can they get through? Is there a hole that they can get through there somewhere?
Oh, there it is. I didn't realize you brought it back. Sorry.
Okay. So Citronini is calling for his third to come through a port on the left-hand side. Sweepers are on it. It looks like he's made it through this hole. Now, what the weight is like is another...
Oh, it's a little heavy.
Oh.
So, well, it's second shot. Either that or that red one in the top is second shot. I think the one in the top red is probably second. Can't quite tell from down here.
It's hard to tell. It looks like red might have second, third, and fourth shot.
All right, Skip Nick Smith coming down from Reedham and Sweep from Potomac for his first stone. And I think he's probably throwing a guard.
And he just comes bounding down here with a big smile on his face.
Always a good time if you're smiling.
Okay. Looks like he's got about the same weight as Justin just threw. So he's got a little bit more, and what that means is that his sweepers are just following along with it. However, he was a little bit further out on the sheet. So, oh, he's coming in. Okay.
That's a good shot or okay shot.
It's a pretty good shot. You know, like if they would have been a little bit
Would you prefer lighter?
well, no, you know what? I think that if they would have swept that rock like just a few feet, they could have maybe got second shot out of it. Like
Okay.
a little bit further, you know, I mean, if it's up 6 inches, 8 inches. And what that does is that you can't really hit the rock because you're not going to get much out of it. I suppose you can if you're just going to be clearing, but if you hit it, then now you're not going to get much more than about 4th shot out of it. So it's in a great spot where they left it. Had they swept and pulled it up another 6-8 inches so that he had second shot, it would, I mean, he would really be putting some pressure on the other team right now.
All right, Skip Phil Citroniti up for his first shot. Are they opting for a draw?
He's got enough ice for a draw, huh? Ooh, he's got a lot of weight. And they're sweeping.
Are they?
Maybe they're doing some kind of a hit and roll in, or
Oh. All right, so hit one on the outside. Didn't do much for them. Smith still sitting shot in the back 4 foot. 2 Redstones sitting 2nd and 3rd. And then Yellowstones 4th and 5th.
see, right now, he has the opportunity to bump that yellow one that he just threw up a little bit. If he does that, then he's going to make it very difficult for Citronini to get out of this end without giving up 1 or 2. He's got about the same broom as he had before, so I'm not sure of what the call was because I missed that. But if it's a tap,
Looks like
it looks like he might be a tap.
Yeah,
So
looks
he's
like
got
he has enough weight. Now,
So
if
this is all about line. The sweepers are sticking with it.
it's got a curl.
Oh, it was out there a bit, and it's just not coming.
They're just going to hit the guard and kind of move guards around a little bit in the front. All right, Citroniti looking at the house, trying to decide what shots he has. They're looking at run backs.
There's a pile of rocks in front of that house. Just going to do a straight draw, he says. In through the port that 2 other shots have already come in through there. So there is a danger here that he could actually bump yellow up.
All right, on sheet D.
Oh, he's way out there. He's got to be calling another like hit and roll in off of his own.
Oh, is he trying to get just a piece of that red and redirect it into the 4 foot?
Yeah, he's throwing a hit here. So they're trying to get a hit and roll in. Third in the house has his hand up, as in whoa.
Oh, and that's going out to the wall.
Yeah.
All right, so
It's
Smith.
very difficult, like when you're next to the boards like that, there is a tendency sometimes for some of the rocks to just fall off.
So Riedemann sweep with a steal of 1 in the 7th. So it is all tied up. Coming home, 6-6. And on sheet D, we are just starting the 8th, where Machino from Philadelphia scored 1 in the 7th, and Spartacus is now up 4-3. And they have hammer. All right, lead Curtis Brooks first stone in the 8th. And it's going to be a 3 guard. A guard just right outside of the house. So a free guard where they can't hit it. And Citroniti asking for his lead to come around.
The score is tied, 6-all after the 7th end. With Citronini has the hammer. He's coming around, left his rock at the top there. Not a bad shot, since the yellow guard is partially in the way.
Now, when you're tied in the 8th end, is it do you go with the same general rule of, you know, if you have hammer keeping the front open, or is it just a race to the button? What is it?
You know what, this I think has to be just a team preference. It's if you have a really good hitting team and you can keep things a little bit open so that your skip has a draw to the forefoot with his hammer to win the game, then you know maybe that's the game that you would play. The other thing is that it is all about the forefoot. So sometimes if teams start putting up, you know, center guards or whatever, and you can get around there first, especially like where this yellow rock is, just at the top of the 12, sort of like in enough to possibly win the game for you and be a counter, but also blocking other rocks from getting to the button. That's probably that's a pretty good shot to have too. So it looks like he's opting to take this out. Probably gonna try and keep that forefoot open. It only takes 1 point, 1 rock to win this game. So rocks out in the 12-foot at this point, they don't matter because they're probably not gonna win you the game. The game is gonna be won in the forefoot.
All right, so Citroniti's lead crashing on the red in the top 12, splitting them, so they have 2 in the 12-foot. Nick Smith asking for a guard. Going to guard up that yellow that is in the top 8-foot,
Yep.
fighting the 4-foot.
So, you know, this is a really good call. He's got his rock on the 4-foot. It's at the top of the 4-foot. Now he's going to put a guard in front of it, and he can, you know, work to block things up. And as long as his rock on the 4-foot is safe, like if he gets a miss out of the other team, he can put another guard on. It'll be interesting to see whether they actually start to take some of the guards off.
Quite a bit of sweeping to get that across, just squeak that across the hog line.
They ended up with a guard that is like, you know, if it's 3 inches over the hog line, it's lucky. But it's slightly off to the left of the rock that's in the house, and so that rock is now exposed, and they're going to go for a hit on that. But they still, yellow still has guards up that they can come around.
Oh, Justin Cato throwing a hit, and it looks like, that's
barely
tough.
missed, just barely missed.
All right, Skip Nick Smith asking for another guard. Asking his second Jim Carr for a guard.
So yeah, so Nick Smith is going to completely ignore any of the red rocks that are out in the 12-foot that, you know, are pretty well irrelevant at this point. So he's just going to continue to guard the rock that he's got in there. That's biting the forefoot. Hoping that that will be the game winner for him.
All right, looks like there's plenty of weight. The sweeper, they're sweeping. I don't know if it's, I think it. And curls in right, very nice.
Nice guard.
Nice
okay,
guard.
So he's going to peel it because he really has, doesn't have a lot of choice. It's the front of the house is now completely controlled by read 'em and sweep. Oh, it was a jam.
Oh, and that doesn't bode well for Citriniti. Just replaces the, it is a run back, but he just ends up replacing the guard that he hit with his stone.
Yeah. So he's looking around because that shot did not really change things for him. He's still in a good position. He's still got control of the front of the house, except one of the guards is now red, but it is fairly long. He's looking at, the red rock that's on the side because there is an in-off for that rock to get him behind the guards that are in play. I think he might be calling a draw.
All right, so his vice, Mark Hauera.
Yeah, this is a guard. Draw guard in.
Oh, is he going to tap that?
Yeah,
He's on
like
top of the guard.
Oh.
Well. Now, is that guard still guarding the rock that he just tapped in, or is it now open?
I don't know.
Sandra's going to go look. We're stuck in the middle, and so she just had to take her headpiece off and is headed over to go check out the ice. All right, here's your headset back. All right, what's the situation?
It's guarded. There's no hole through there.
All right.
Got I thought maybe that they had created a hole big enough to get through and double out those yellows that are sitting there, but there's no way. So he's got to take something off. You got to watch out with these, where you're taking some of these things off. That it's tempting to let a peel turn into a run back. And really, they just need to get rid of that shot. It looks too like some of the two yellow rocks are actually possibly set up for a jam. Uh-oh. He did not throw very much weight, but
it hit that guard, that long guard that was just barely over the hog line. And again, just kind of replacing him.
Yeah, like unfortunately, Citrinini has just sort of exchanged rocks in the front of the house and nothing has actually moved, even though at least two of the rocks in the guard zone area have been hit. Nothing's been moved around. It's still the same, arrowhead formation going on at the front of the house. Completely guarding the Potomac shot rock.
All right. The vice for read 'em and sweep, throwing his second stone. Skip Nick Smith asking for a guard or a draw anywhere.
This could be a really nice shot. Let's see.
It looks like it's going to be in. Yeah, top 12.
No, he doesn't want to come in too far, and he doesn't want to set up a double.
This is a nice shot. Oh, or did he set up the double? Oh,
Well, I think he more likely set up a, well, it's hard
I mean,
to tell.
should have been, it would have been nice. It would have been a little bit lighter.
I mean, it's a hit and roll over. I don't know whether you could sort of like hit and roll over and bounce off. I don't know.
Yeah, we can't tell from here.
There still is a guard in front of him too, so I'm not sure that they actually have an open path to the inside of that rock the way that they want to.
I think they were kind of hoping that was going to stick out a little bit further or curl a little bit more but that's all right. Vice, Ken Thebeto from Utica throwing his stone.
Okay. Sweepers are called on right away.
I think they're on the guard.
Yeah, I think he might have been a little bit narrow when he let it go. We'll see if he makes it by. Oh, just barely got a piece of the front center guard.
Oh. All right, well, I think Nick's looking at the house.
Okay, so they're like, okay, so where do we really need to place this rock? Now, he does not have the hammer,
Right.
so he needs to, you know, block off the front here, which he's got. I mean, he's really, with the rocks in the front 12 foot, if he puts one on the center to guard his rock that's in top 8, he really makes it difficult for Citronini to get in there to score 1 to win the game. He was talking with the third about possible variations to this shot. They were talking that if they were heavy, he could come in, he could bump the yellow one back a little bit. They could stop short in front of the house. So there's a range that this rock can actually, you know, end up in that would be fine. It looks like he might have tap weight. Oh no, he's a little bit slowing down.
I think it's going to be top 12.
He is coming in. Okay, so they definitely have a wall built in the front.
First, we are using a game timer. The game timer starts at 1 hour 57 minutes. When it hits 20 minutes, it turns yellow. That means you finish the end you are currently on and play one more. This event is an 8-end event until the final. Ties are a full extra end. At our club, the leads flip a coin. The winner has a choice of hammer or color. Don't forget the restrooms are out the door by the kitchen. No alcohol beyond our doors. And before you step onto the ice, you must have signed a waiver. Thank you and good luck.
All right.
I think he's throwing a bomber.
I think so too. Oh, no. It's fooled us both.
Yeah, that's right. He's got a takeout coming, but it's not a bomber. Oh, and he moved everything around, but now he's moved one right at the back of the button. And there is so much garbage, junk in front of the house, all of it yellow.
Yep. So
Except for one lonely red guard that's very long. If he puts one in just the right spot, Citronini is going to have a very tough time because he's going to have to make a shot to either remove that rock from the back of the button and stick, or I suppose he could try some kind of a hit and roll off the ones on the side. Or like, it's more like a wick, a redirect onto the one on the back of the button. At this point, Potomac is sitting first, second, and third.
And on sheet D, Spartacus is about to throw their last stone, and Red must have 2 in the house because they're trying. It looks like they're trying to run a yellow back. Otherwise, because they're up by 1, so Red must have 2 in the house. Otherwise, I think they would just throw this away. Well, I guess to avoid the tie.
The guard's coming in. Doesn't look like it's curling enough. So he gets a little bit of an angle raise and a tap, and that is a pretty good shot. That is a very good shot.
All right, so great shot by Reedham and Sweep. Doesn't leave Team Citroniti very much to play with. A lot of yellow. And on sheet D, they're running a yellow back, trying for the win. Oh! Is it going to be enough?
That was actually a very nice try.
Very nice try. So
I think they tied it.
Tied it, yep. So we're going into an extra end on sheet D. A steal of 1 by Machino from Philadelphia. So all tied up 4-4 and going into extra ends on sheet D. And back on sheet A.
You know, the tough thing for Citronini is that there's a long guard. There's a long guard. There's a long guard that is blocking a rock from curling to the button. So sometimes those long guards, they just sort of mess you up because they can cut off, you know, almost half the house on you. So, I mean, he does have a straighter shot through to get to the rock at the back of the button, but if you throw a little bit more weight, then is your rock going to actually stick around? Or is it going to roll out and let that top, the rock at the top 8 actually be the shot winner? So the long guard is really, you know, creating problems with this shot right now.
All right, so last shot on sheet A.
So he's going to come with a little bit more weight. Oh, they're talking about possibly raising the long guard.
Ooh,
that is a
really
tough
long
shot.
Really long, really tough.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a really tough. They're in a very tough situation here on sheet A. All right, they're going to try to do the run back on the very, very long guard. There's bets going on in the warm room. Friendly bets.
Sweepers are on it, but it has like really curled,
Oh,
and that's it.
good game.
So Ream and Sweep steals to win the game.
All right, we're in extra ends in sheet D. Yes, if you could, please. We're going to transfer over to sheet D. We're in an extra end where Spartacus is playing, let's see, Machino from Philadelphia. Machino stole in the 8th to send this into an extra end. Currently, Spartacus is sitting 2. They have 1 yellow. It looks like in the 4-foot, and I don't know if it's behind the guard or not. There's 1 red guard out in front. And got a piece of that and moved the rock off the 4-foot. Skip J asking for his second mark to take the guard off. He has hammer, so he wants to keep this open so he has a draw for the win at the end. Also doesn't want to give Machino anything to hide behind. Oh, again, just kind of replace the guard.
Yeah, we ended up with a nose hit pretty well. So that leaves the guard in play, and they're going to use it. They're going to come around it. Okay, here's another situation where it's all about the 4-foot. The rocks that are out in the 12 are irrelevant. They most likely will not win this game for you. So it looks like we're a fair distance away from the chute over there, but it looks like the back 8 rock that he could use that to freeze up to and be biting the 4-foot. So he's trying to figure out angles, and he's decided to come around the outside. Now we haven't watched that sheet, so we don't know. Sometimes these outside sheets can be a little bit tricky, and it's easier to, or there's more curl coming away from the boards than there is going towards the boards. It's just a matter of what's going on with that particular sheet. This actually looks like a pretty nice stone. He came around there and bumped that one back, and he looks like he might even be biting. Okay, and so Jay's going to peel that guard off again. Make sure that there's nothing in the way that they can hide behind, or that's going to prevent him from actually getting to the 4-foot.
So starting on sheet A, we have Conley from Nutmeg, Lesnar from Philadelphia. We have the Mike White experience on sheet B, playing Phoenixon.
And this time they move the guard further out to the outside, where it's probably going to be a non-issue.
Shiner, and Poker.
Philadelphia is going to put the guard back, or a guard back. Oh, I don't know. Okay, so he says, let's remove this rock. Jeff Lee just getting ready to deliver his stone. They've called the sweepers on. He's got to make it by the guards.
Oh,
which he
great
has.
sweeping.
Yes.
Nice shot. The sweeper's pumped up after
Yeah.
that. It's always pretty exhilarating squeaking one by like that.
Because flexing their muscles.
And then collapsing after
Yeah.
sweeping so hard. Yes, that's fine. All right.